line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat.
A beautiful night to set the tone and set it just right. It is time at last to see Nashville Superspeedway here with GOAT Racing League Sim 500 Truck Series live on Pete Series TV, presented in part by our friends at Sim 500 Esports Racing League. Hello everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Driver, and I am back with you guys here after throwing a few 3 wides at my friends, rivals, and colleagues, and probably getting a little bit worked up from after getting a few hicks and tings and nicks. I'm alright, I'm doing pretty good, and I hope you guys are doing pretty well out there as well. It's time for some action, some racing here from the Go Racing League boys. So let's take it down to our showcase here, presented by Sim 500, and starting lineup on the Cole. It's the 19th Tyler Dalton, the Reign of Terror. On the outside, the Mac Attack, Brian V. Macklin in the 30. Row number 2, the 6 will be Mike Kelly. The outside, that 99, it is Tommy Ryan. Row number 3, in the 43, it'll be Samuel Rell. The outside, in the number 28, it is Doy Woods. Row 4 is the 35 of Jeff Ryan. The outside, in the 02, that is Shannon Wood. Row number 5, in the 91, it'll be Wesley Donaldson. The outside, in the number 24, Cody Sturgill. Row 6, and the number 41 on the outside, it'll be E.J. O'Rourke. The outside, and the 7 is Scott Sibley. Row number 7 is going to be piloted by Ron Holyfield. The 11 on the outside, and the 84 is Anthony M. Calatani. Row number 8, and the number 5, Jack on the outside, and the big 8, it's Maurice Burnett. Row 9, and the 75, the Wild Man, Alan Wild on the outside, and the 97, Jess Fremsdale. Row 10 is Christoph Hall on the 44 on the outside, and the 23, Charles Van Schaik. Row number 11 is going to be Aaron Action Jackson, the 12, but the outside, and the 36, Richard Crane. Dakota Kramer is the 42, the outside, the 96, it'll be Jerry Livingston. The final starter today, and the 25, Robert Tucker. Here we go, race fans. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a shootout. 113 laps to the distance. Playoffs near more and more. Let Nashville Superspeedway take you away with stage 1 to the line. Green is out in Lebanon. Oh yeah, as I'm recording this too, they just released a brand new model update for these truck series, so I think we're about to get a look at what it can do down there. Maurice Burnett getting a little bit struggled down there. Looks like he'll stay off the wall though, so that'll keep him relatively clean from that position, but unfortunately it costs them a lot of time, a lot of ground as they'll move their way back on through the track. Oh, and another spinner down there, that's Robert Tucker. The 25 machine going for a little spin off through turn number 4 here. It loses its ground and his time there as they'll swing, as we'll get everyone back up to the front. Tommy Ryan giving the number 6 of Mike Kelly some room to breathe, some leeway there. Tucker with still problems down there. He has jumped into pit road, calling it a day early. Now, the new damage model on these things, from what I hear, you drag that wall around a little too much, or you get into any issues here, well, let's just say you may have a destroyed truck. Talking Giants versus the World, 2 spots up, started 14, currently moving 2 up. Anthony M. Calatani trying to get himself a little bit more reconfigured, a little bit more organized here as the rest of the field hunts down these 2 madmen. The Reign of Terror and the Mac Attack. The 2 most winningest drivers here on Pizza Race TV in both seasons we broadcast for. 2 of maybe the toughest drivers to walk on the face of this track. They have no remorse and no regard for anything other than to get out there and win. And only the toughest drivers will be able to take them down. And at certain points, certain areas, will it be able to be configured in to find that line and find that sight. You see drivers still having some problems down there trying to stay out of that wall protection. Getting a bit aggressive here or there and then finding themselves in a bit of a tough angle here. Well, onboard camera here with Scott Simley, the number 7 Toyota Tundra, as he continues to move his way through the chains. Both Chevrolets in front of him, Cody Sturgill and Anthony Calatani. Simley, the Toyota driver right now, just looking to keep momentum up and leave the run on to his lane here. Tommy Ryan, some problems down there at 99, slowing up again. Seems to find himself in a bit of a tough little ordeal here or there. Doesn't seem like he's getting as much groove or much grip on the track as perhaps some of these other guys are. And that's really going to cost him here if he doesn't start to figure it out a little sooner rather than later. Remember, stage 1 is at lap 25's end, then lap 55 will be stage number 2's end. So what that does is it forces drivers in the back either to make a couple decisions, either lay it in quick or lay back low for a little while. Charles Van Schaik, in my opinion, is probably going to be another one of those drivers you got to watch out for. We saw what he done at tracks like Kentucky and Vegas, and Nashville Superspeedway, in my opinion, kind of plays a bit like those two without having to roll the speeds more. It's more of a controlling the tires basis. Even under the night lights here, this track is still going to wrap up a little bit of drivers' wear and tear, and they're going to have to face a lot of it as they continue to go on down from the race end here. Tyler Dalton, your race leader right now. Brian V. Macklin right behind him there. Mike Kelly, Samuel Harrell, both guys lingering right back into the pack and lingering on down through there. Still looking for their paces, looking for their speed. Each driver right now just playing into their strategies and playing into the right calls and the right maneuvers. Guys like Doy Woods though, man, that 28 machine, the K&N driver, he is swapped out. As the Furniture Roski brought a little bit of a new coat of paint to us. But there's one thing I'll tell you, Doy Woods probably has got to be one of the most outspoken drivers you'll run into in any of these series. And these drivers can talk a lot, but this guy, he can literally back up his talk and his trash talk a little bit. He knows how to race it with the best of them, and he's trying to figure out how to get back into victory lane after a little bit of time away from it. Back of the pack right now here, Dakota Kramer, the number 42, going head-to-head here with Jerry Livingston, the number 96. Only fans versus that 96 bad boy there of the Tundra. Livingston again, he's had some great moments on Pete's Race TV as well. You expect him to kind of do a little bit of good here and start to kind of take control. Shot there between those guys there as they continue to have at it. Alan Wildman Wild and Charles Van Schaik head to head entering into number 1, but it is Schaik who gets the bottom lane to groove. Now remember, you can run the outside a little bit above the bottom and still have some speed. However, you can only do it for so many laps before the right front becomes a little bit more tore up. Remember the 550 horsepower package on these things, they can't garner as much speed, as much power, so they have to rely on more control and careful planning as well. Like everyone right now just kind of getting their paces up a bit, just looking to kind of stay up in their binders here. Feel the roar of these cars too as they continue to work their gaps off, work their speeds in a bit. They are trying to find any little opening they can, and they just make those solid passes, occasionally introducing a rear bumper to a front bumper. Give it a little bit of a kiss on the back there. Just kind of say, hey, I'm back here, guys, it's alright. Although to the other driver up ahead, they probably don't appreciate it too much. Safe to say, I think that was their no-go zone. But it's a different story. Scott Simley now looking to draft off the 84. The Talking Giants is indeed against the world again. Galtani, man, he's one of the drivers I've kind of talked a lot about, only with one win this season though, and really the main reason I talk about him so much is usually because his fan base just comes in flying colors with UG versus the world or Talking Giants versus the world. He's got a lot of dedicated guys down there, a lot of people that love watching him go at it and love watching him do good. But only one win this season at Martinsville, of all places. It's been a bit of a struggle for him to kind of get a grip on some places and get some power off these tracks here. I chop it down to a little bit too, just being kind of overwhelmingly bad luck due to the fact he's having to face off with so many guys that are not only overly powerful in their talents, but also overly smart on how to take advantage of mistakes from other drivers. Chad Coleman doing a great job right now, just keeping his pace up. Again, remember, he's got a couple wins this season. Really firing on all cylinders and taking everybody to the line, to the wire. But here's a guy that knows a thing or two about trying to fake the best of his season. Samuel Rowe in the 43, still winless so far. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, but he is the best driver to be winless this season. He has been constantly in the top fives. He's constantly had second place finishes. And at one point, I said it was either between him and Chad Coleman for the guy that deserves a win that has not got it yet. Well, Coleman got one already, and then he got two. Burrell, previous weeks from there on out, couldn't quite get it into victory lane. He's trying to change that today as we go almost 3 wide, slowing down off of the back straightaway. Coleman trying to make a jump there on the number 02 of Shannon Wood. The real tree Chevrolet goes against the A-Shock, number 5. Laps winding down here as the final laps engage. We're running out of time here. These drivers are running out of patience. I'm guaranteeing that much. Kind of surprised to see some drivers like Ron Holyfield, Christoph Hall so far back in the pack. Jeff Ramsdell even. And Richard Crane with a little bit of problems down there. Not quite able to get those demons exercised, if you will, right now. They'll have time to get it done later, but again, going this far back and really being in this kind of position, it's surprising to me that they're kind of in this position to begin with. Wesley Donaldson, the number 91 here, going to go head-to-head here with Doy Woods as we're closing closer and closer to the end of our stage break. And Wesley Donaldson, by the way, not a winner just yet this season. You know as well as anything that he would love nothing more than to change that. But to do so, you gotta beat the best and take down the rest. Donaldson there on the outside as well, putting one right up there on the 99 of Tommy Ryan as they get him a little bit more fielded down. Darren Action Jackson's got a problem in turn number 3, comes to a dead stop, and the truck is done for. It looks like he will not be able to continue on. Jackson this season compared to last season too, I have no idea what changed or what went wrong, but man, he has not been anywhere near the level and talent we saw from him a couple of seasons ago to last season and then on and then forth. He has since told me too, like he has been dealing with a lot of stuff in his life and he's dealt some changes, but I mean, I really still kind of just wonder though, what else is there? Like, what else can he get in besides just getting more practice and trying to figure out how to better himself? It's hard to really dive into that mindset and really figure it out without being that driver itself. For me, all I need to do is just literally figure out how a certain truck or car works and then run the track as it should, and then from there it just kind of worked out in my favor. You guys may have seen that earlier until I decided to meet up with a little joker down there. I swear I wasn't trying to be Batman and be the Cape Crusader. I am just the Crusader, so don't be trying to make any Cape Crusader jokes on me there, guys, before I get copyright strike here from DC, if you will. But anyway, coming down off final 2 corners here, Tyler Dalton. Safe to say he had this one pretty much figured out for stage 1. Stage points is going to go to the Trans Service, number 19, Sim 500, Tyler Dalton. So, stage winner for Tyler Dalton. More bonus points added on to his resume and his name, and he knows he needs every little bit of it. He knows how close this season is. Speaking of that, while we're currently getting drivers all squared back out on the track here, this gives me a time to kind of take a look at our points so far. With coming into this race, after Indianapolis, Tyler Dalton scored 40. He just added some more to it by adding a bonus point there. So he should be at 41. Brian Macklin, 4 wins, tied with Tyler Dalton for the most this season, 33 points in total. EJ O'Rourke, currently with 2 wins and 13 points. Chad Coleman, 2 wins, 11 points. Tommy Ryan, 10 points, 2 wins. Jose Gonzalez with 8 points and 1 win, although I will have to confirm on that whether or not he'll even be eligible for the playoffs. It sounds he has left the league as well, so just heads up on that. Charles Van Schaik, 6 points with a win to his name. Anthony M. Calatani, 1 win to his name, 5 bonus points. And then Mike Kelly with 3 points, no wins. Alan Wild, Samuel Rell, Doy Woods, and John Hickman Jr., only 1 bonus point from the playoffs. And pit stops now being initiated here. This is going to be a tough little spot. This is, by the way, their final race before the playoffs. And out of pit road, looks like it's going to be Tommy Ryan that gets the jump out. Scott Simley going to go up 1 as well. Tyler Dalton, then Brian V. Macklin, Charles Van Schaik, Mike Kelly, Samuel Rell, Wesley Donaldson, Anthony M. Calatani, and then Chad Coleman for sure out of pit road. Looks like just right sides or fuels for, just fuel for Ryan and Simley. Maybe right sides for Charles Van Schaik. All 4 and fuel for the other drivers in between. Very, very interesting strategies here, if you ask me. So yeah, going into this one today, guys, here again, this is their final race before playoffs begin. The round of 12 begins next week. Where are we heading? Well, let's just say it will be one heck of a week for us, because Sunday we're at Talladega. Guess where we're at on Tuesday? Yep, that's right. The 13th, we're going back to Talladega. On the 20th of June, we will be at Richmond Raceway. On June 27th, then, the round of 8 begins. We cut from our top 8. That will get us Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll take the 4th of July off, get ourselves some little sunshine and relaxation, and then it's off to Auto Club Speedway on the 11th. The final race, the Championship 4, will meet at Phoenix, the Open Dog Leg. Quite a little look around there, a little bit of just an insight on what is going on down on the track here. Field going to wrap themselves back around. We are double filing in as everybody prepares to go back to battle. Tommy Ryan, Scott Simley going to have their hands full on the start here, because they're going to have to try to hold back some heavy hitters looking to try to make a move off on them. Hope the stream is looking pretty good on your guys' end too, and hopefully it's all working out on yours as well. I know obviously the frame rate's a little off. I had to adjust the graphics settings because of last night. They, of course, obviously had an update today, but because of the dirt, it did not pop up right on our end at all, so I apologize for some frame rate slowdowns here. we will be looking at trying to get our streaming service fixed on that to get a little faster here, a little more consistent. So. All right, down through turn number 3 and turn number 4 here. Tommy Ryan, Scott Simley, Tyler Dalton, Brian V. Macklin, Charles Van Schleich, Scott Mike Kelly, your first 3 rows. Line them up to the 500 restart zone. Green flag drops out. Stage number 2 begins. Whoa, look out! Tyler Dalton way in that problematic zone. He got drifted up and he got smacked there by Macklin. 3 wide, down the back straightaway. Dalton is in serious trouble. The stage winner has lost all his ground in time. Holy smokes, everything just going completely haywire there right out of the gate there for the 19. And Macklin just giving him the death wish and the kiss of death there, if you will. What on earth happened there right off the start? We'll take a look at the replay. Take a look. See if Dalton makes a mistake here, if he gets nudged. Oh yeah, right there. He did make a mistake. He caught the inside of the yellow. Look at that. Macklin nowhere to go. What was he supposed to do in his mind? He takes it right on Dalton, and Dalton now falling way back in the pack. And speaking way back in the pack, we're going up to the top half. 3 wide, Sutton, Doy Woods, Charles Van Schleich, and Anthony Calatoni going head-to-head, trying to make the best of their equations. Woods is not done yet. He's searching for another 3 wide. He wants to salute everyone in with the fans to the drivers alike. That is some driving right there, my friends. But again, how much is he tearing up on those tires? They're still 3 deep back there. Look out in the back half. Van Schleich, Kramer, and Sturgill having a little bit of a go. Alan Weiler clearing out that gap too. Boy, this is an explosive stage number 2. Mike Kelly and Brian V. Macklin right now going at it for the race lead, but it looks like it's Macklin now taking control. Kelly still trying to use the outside line for leverage. Ooh, doesn't want to right hook old Macklin. Kelly backed down. Didn't want nothing to do with it. And unfortunately, it looks like the Glitch Graphic Gremlins are looking to take his soul with him and take the truck off the track. He doesn't want to go. Donaldson trying to stay with him. Kelly going back low. Here comes the battle for the race lead again. Macklin going to try to hang on. Trans Service number 6 versus the U.S. Navy Brad himself and the Mac Attack. Macklin holding on. Both drivers looking pretty good. As soon as he went to the outside lane, though, you knew he had a little bit of a problem. That bottom lane is the only groove these guys can use. And they are right now exploiting it to all it's worth. Big jump there as well. The Alpha Men Podcast 75. Look, got a huge run there on that 99 Tommy Ryan. He's using the airflow around that truck too. You can see when these guys line up that trap. Watch as they line up the truck. They're currently looking for an opening to shoot through the gap and shoot through the moon. And then once they find that little extra sned, that extra little bit of speed, they then shoot to the inside or go to the outside. They absolutely have to. They force the other driver to have to run right back in place or keep themselves on the right treads. Your top 4 though, pretty much close together. Jack Coleman has entered the fray. He's not the hard charger though. That honor goes to the OnlyFans 42, Dakota Kramer, who earns about as much as you've divided by 1,000. It's what some of those folks will use on OnlyFans, and 14 spots up. Tommy Ryan, the DVA811.com machine, trying to not only dig a few holes, but dig a few spots on the rest of the drivers, but his strategy is not quite sticking to fruition. He did fuel no tires, and everybody else kind of caught off guard by that strategy, but I think really the point of it was to not have any openings left and have a spare set ready to go just in case. Could be an advantage, could be a disadvantage. It is hard to say. Tommy and Jeff Ryan, brothers in arms and brothers on the track. Now having to go at it. Jeff Ryan right now trying to sneak his way on the inside. Tommy right now looking for a run. Family members going for broke, and Jeff will get the advantage here. Tommy already this season 2. He's got a race win to his name. Gustav being extremely patient right now, knowing that he's going to have some company coming through up in the back here. How much damage, too, did that Reign of Terror in the 19th Tyler Dalton take is my question, because he fell so far back. He got trapped into the outhouse, and he's just looking to get way back into the White House. Easier said than done, though, again, when you're having to go up against drivers that are just pushing their luck and their limits as hard as these guys are. Sweeping corner down the inside, the Adrenaline Shock 5. Beautiful run there, and a big drive off on the WBD Diecast 91 of Donaldson. We are nearing just a matter of 14 laps left to go in stage number 2. No one is safe from this one. And Macklin too right now, man, being very cautious and aware of what his surroundings are after having a fight with Kelly there for a little bit. But he's opening the door up to a lot of other drivers here, including this old schemed up machine in the 483 of Samuel Harrell. And again, Harrell, I'm not kidding you guys, if he finds something, if he can just keep his pace and keep his consistency here, I think he's got a chance. I genuinely think he's got a chance. He's been far back a little bit. Now he's closing the gap up. He doesn't have to worry about Tyler Dalton right now, for at least for the moment anyway. He just has to worry about trying to get around some of those heavy hitters that are looking for a win too. Mike Kelly again this season. He's had a few great stage points to his name, but the only one thing that's been eluding him is that blasted win. And he has since said too, I know it will come eventually, but it's absolutely frustrating that I have not been able to get it relatively in that possibility or that hope. But the trans service, number 6, looks like today that might be a bit of a better option. He's currently fighting Macklin off for everything he's got. The way he's doing it, cutting the airflow around the 30 and using the dirty air to oblige the 6. Problem is, if you can't catch a corner right, that other driver will just come right back at you. Here we go, side by side for the race lead. Coleman going to use the draft for Macklin. Coleman trying desperately to swing the track in his favor. But it is Macklin who gets the run. Coleman and Kelly now, they are going to have to try to topple the Mack attack. We've got a new leader in Brian V. Macklin yet again. Coleman now driving it back down low. Throwing a little heavy hitter at him. You can just see too, they are throwing everything they can except but everything except the kitchen sink at this point, really. Galtani even and Doy Woods, they're all sneaking their way back up there. You see them kind of scratching and clawing around a little bit. Kelly still dealing with Coleman though. Probably may have aggressively got too aggressive on those tires. Once that right front starts to go, it pretty much turns into a dump truck down there. You're basically just trying to steer with only one tire. Where the other tire, it's basically just all but lost in the equation. With more power and speed, you could use the rear end as a little bit of a jump starter and actually keep the truck in motion. But with this kind of race, this kind of deal, it becomes much more critical and crucial to be perfect on accuracy and position. Down the straightaway here, we've only got about 7 laps left. little trouble down there for Maurice Burnett here. The 8 comes to a dead stop. Caution is out on the track here in stage number 2. Burnett trying to get out of the way of the drivers and now trying to get himself squared back out on the track. Take a look at the replay here and see what exactly transpired, and it looks like there may have been some contact. 3 wide off, and oh, Jeff Ryan just pretty much delivering a right hook to the 8 of the 3G machine. Not a position you ever want to see yourself in, especially not going 3 wide, then this happens. Yeah, Christoph Hall was just an innocent bystander and all that there. So, caution out. I don't know if they'll be able to get the stage finished up on their green. We'll see. But that may be the stage there. Well, it looks like we may get a green-white checkered in. If they get them back to the line, they will be on lap 54 to 55. I don't know if we're going to get it in, though. The way it's looking right now, I don't foresee that being the case here. I think they may just end up going with the long shot here. So they're going to get him going. Looks like it'll be a green-white checkered here at this stage. Macklin, Coleman, Kelly, Calatani, Samuel Raleigh, top 5. Doy Woods, Alan Weil, Cody Sturgill, Jeff Ryan, Charles Van Schaik, top 10. Hard charger so far, Chad Coleman, 13 up. All do or die time now here for these guys. They're going to be lingering their way right back on around. We're going to set the bar up here. Each driver just looking to get themselves the best restart they possibly can. They know there's a lot at stake and on the line with this stage point. This can make the difference between making it or breaking it this season. Off of turn number 4. Restart zone set. Green flag drops. Safe to say Macklin went right out of the gate on that one. Trying to do what Tyler Dalton did there in stage 1 and get himself a stage victory. He's going to line him right back on around with just one more lap needed. Coleman and Calatani trying to catch him. Having a lot of problems down there, though. These guys aren't quite able to keep their speed up, keep their momentum on the line. Macklin just needs one more set of corners. Coleman trailing. He's trying to get a little extra. It just does not get enough run. Macklin just pretty much launched it and set himself apart. Stage number 2 is going to go, it looks like, to the Mac attack off of 3 into 4. And Brian V. Macklin strikes it big. Stage points here in the final race before the playoffs. There he is, your stage winner here, the number 30, Brian V. Macklin. Putting up the fight, putting on a show. Impressive performance here. And right now as well, I believe some of our Talking Giants versus the World crew have come on board. Dustin Pennick says the 84 are coming through the field. Yeah, he came through the field and he drove through a lot of things, and he's right now looking to try to grab one more victory and a lot of bonus points to help him out in his quest. From pit road here, everybody right now just kind of slashing their gases up, getting the tires situated, the fuel lined up. Those that did not go into pit road probably strategizing above all else here as we linger right off. Scott Simley be the first one out of pit road. Wesley Donaldson, then Brian V. Macklin, Chad Coleman, Anthony M. Calatani, Mike Kelly, Sammy Morrell, Toy Woods, Alan Wild rounding it out. A lot of drivers now know their pieces and know their structure here. the field right now, currently getting squared back up on the track. EJ O'Rourke deciding to only go in on lap number 50. A lot of our drivers deciding to go in 50, 51, 52, and then the rest deciding to hit it in at 57. So the lap counter can make a bit of a difference here. It could be a bit troublesome if they're not too careful. Doubled up now. The drivers are preparing up for battle. All bets are off. Everybody looking to throw it down to the house and throw it onto the track. This is where the excitement kicks off in a whole nother way. The final stage for the Sim 500 Truck Series is about to commence. Pick your favorites, pick your drivers. This is the last race before next week the playoffs begin. What excitement and adventures await there, we shall soon see. But there is something that the each drivers know, which is you cannot give up anything now at this point. Hope for the best and run it with the rest. Off the distance through turn number 4. The field will march their way around, and it's time to let them rip it off the track and rip it down to the house. Let's rock out one more time. It is time for your final stage for the Sim 500 Truck Series at Nashville. Whoa, Ramsdale way off pace there. Everybody else just firing him out of the gate. That backs him up and stacks him up quite a bit. EJ O'Rourke right now getting right ahead. Coming down off the edges here, right here, Jeff Ryan, the 35, currently trying to stay a little bit in the corners there with Doy Woods. Chad Coleman, the 5, also going head-to-head here as all drivers here continue to pace their way through and battle it out. As these guys right now just look for any kind of openings, any kind of chances they can get. Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ramsdale, hard on the gas pedal. Oh, big right hook! Watch out! We got a problem! We've got a huge problem on the back straightaway! Well, if you're wondering what that damage model looks like now, there's a good look at it. Oh my goodness. Look at the destruction on the front of that 5 of Chad Coleman. Look at the damage these guys just took from that right hook. Oh my goodness. Hey, wait a minute, there's no caution. There was no caution flag on the track. What? That should have been a caution. Where the heck is the caution flag? I thought that should have been a caution. We need to look back at this real quick. Hold on just a minute. Tyler Dalton literally got into a nasty little situation here as everyone else was coming through. This is a nasty, nasty hit here. And the caution did not come out. Watch this. Ryan comes up slightly, catches Ramsdale. There goes the rest. Coleman gets a slap. Cal Tunney gets smacked in there. Chad Coleman destroyed on the front of the nose. Shannon Wood also destroyed. How the heck is that not a caution flag? They are going to remain green, but man, I'm going to have a few words with those iRacing devs. That I am not totally sure on. So EJ O'Rourke right now probably getting the heist of the century thrown in his way, and if he can somehow, some way just keep the floorboards underneath him and keep this race lead intact, he might actually be able to walk away with this one. He's still got a lot of competition though, trying to catch up to him. Battle off here now, side by side, as Donaldson and Van Schuyck go at it here. Each driver right now hard in the gas pedal, throwing it right in between, looking for whatever they can do. So Van Schuyck 16 up, hard charger with Dakota Kramer pretty much right on his tent area there too. They're near that position. Pretty crazy to believe just how far we're coming along and how far things have been. Justin Pennick though kind of panicking the same way I would have panicked there. Unfortunately, Kalatani and others were just involved in that nasty little situation. I think it was the 84, 97 Jeff Ramsdale and a few others, and it is pretty much been a crazy little ride from there on out. So right now, a little bit of a back off in the field, and everyone else just kind of keeping their distance, keeping their drive up. Ramsdale right up there with Mike Kelly a little bit. I think Mike Kelly probably at this point just probably holding his breath and hoping nothing else happens here. I think he's been through the paces and into trouble enough in his mind. Trying to catch our breath too, guys. That was a wild little situation, a wreck there that really wasn't expecting to at all. Now just trying to kind of come back from that and then kind of calm down a bit. It's just getting really hard to figure out like where else to go from there. Jerry Livingston, the 96, and the 36 here of Richard Crane. Both guys right now hot on their trail and hot on the dog fight here. The last winding down. You got just under 40 laps left to go. Richard Crane, the 36 here. We're currently watching him on in the top 10 with Jeff Ryan catching up to him. And Crane, by the way, started back literally almost in dead last, started in the 22nd spot. The fact that he's even in that spot where he's at right now is a pretty big miracle in his own right. It just shows he's really trying to hang in there a bit. So time to take a look at our lap times here presented by Sim 500 here. And this is what you're seeing right here. Doy Woods has been every lap catching EJ O'Rourke in that number 41. And Woods right now, again, he's trying to keep a chance and get an opportunity to make or break his race season. He does not have any wins in the trucks. He has one win in the Cup. And he is desperately looking to shock everybody and punch his ticket to the playoffs. For O'Rourke, he literally got his first win back in Daytona, where he had to go through a lot of trouble and a lot of power, but then he would do the unthinkable at Bristol and fight everybody off with an iron fist. This race today, extremely important to him. Mike Kelly, I mean, how many more times do I got to say this? He's in that podium spot. He's in the hunt for the race lead and the win. But will this time be it? Will this one be them? Well, him and Doy Woods are probably the hungriest drivers right now, looking to try and claim every bit and try to get whatever they can out of this today. Doy Woods has caught the 41 now. Will the K&N 28 finally get the job done? He's right on his tail. This is your battle for the race lead. This is the playoff determination move here for Doy Woods and Mike Kelly, not too far behind. Which driver's going to make the take the advantage? Which driver's going to get the better of the two? We're going to see. The personal comfort 41, though, you know O'Rourke will be as aggressive as anyone else can be. He's fighting him, scratching him, and clawing every bit off of that airflow that's going around Woods. He's trying to put the pressure on him. Keeping his gap up, just keeping the momentum alive here. He knows if he makes one wrong move, it will cost him. Meanwhile, back up ahead of him, Ron Holyfield and Anthony Calatani. A little battle out there as Holyfield gets a big jump there. He will move the chains. The 11, though, only in 13th. Calatani in 14th. Currently, they're both actually, ironically enough, in their qualifying position that they started in from today. Tyler Dalton says there is oil in 1 and 2. And said, not sure if there's something with the new build or not. Cold tires were more unpredictable. Something we'll learn as we run more. Tyler Dalton, thank you for the info back down there, and a tough breakthrough for you as well there, sir. I thought, honestly, the way you came off that corner down in 1 and 2, I thought you actually got it underneath the yellow line there, good sir. I thought you may have cut it a little too close there and ended up actually throwing yourself into a bit of a troublesome spot. Keeping in the neck of the woods right now, O'Rourke, Woods, Kelly, everybody just pretty much staying tightly compact and close together. Remember, though, pit stops were made. Charles Van Schaik already gone in on lap number 80. Remember, he went in on lap 57, so he did a full 23 laps. These guys right now, 50 and 57. So O'Rourke has got to be hurting a little bit for fuel and a little bit on that tires. Doy Woods probably in the same boat, probably in the same category. Kind of hard to say. We'll see what their decision is. But pit stops now going to be made. O'Rourke trying to park it in quick. Woods trying to be careful going to pit road. Does a great job getting around it. Mike Kelly takes the lead, though. And maybe what I will call his last Hail Mary attempt, his last saving grace. All the other drivers right now currently just going to get themselves settled down. We'll focus in on O'Rourke and Woods while Kelly gets further ahead. Alan Wild, Maurice Burnett currently 3 to 4 seconds back of each other as each driver tries to make the best of their circumstances. O'Rourke, just fuel. Right side's going on for Woods. And fuel as well. He fires them off. O'Rourke and Woods, actually, both drivers taking right side tires. So I have to apologize there in advance. Mike Kelly, he's on now. We'll see what he does. Maurice Burnett, though, is your new leader. Did that 3G number 8 all of a sudden shock a few drivers and just completely throw everyone to the distance? We'll soon see. But Charles Van Schaik, by the way, has gotten ahead of O'Rourke and Woods. Kelly needs to hurry in and hurry out. He's losing time here. He's going on 4 tires. He took all 4s. All 4 tires going on the number 6. Could that be a last-ditch strategy effort? It's a very, very risky move. Again, when you think about it, he's now put himself about 4 or 5 seconds back, just alone, on Charles Van Schaik, now rolling up to about 7 to 8. He's got about 8 seconds now back from Woods and O'Rourke. Kramer, the only one close to him there, may have a chance to catch him around, try to put some speed up there. But Maurice Burnett is your race leader. Tyler Dahl in our comment section says, nope, just loose on the cold tires. Made 2 inflicted mistakes that cost me a chance to win that race. Can't complain too much, though. Got the regular season championship, most playoff points hanging in the playoffs. Don't agree with that, but I mean, you even said best too. The more playoff points you get, the more you have a chance to kind of survive each round as you go along. And especially when you got guys like O'Rourke and Calatani and Van Schaik are facing up against, I would think that makes quite a difference there. Van Schaik's got company on his back bumper here, and it looks like that late strategy might be just enough. Van Schaik gonna have to defend the DoorDash 23 as the best he possibly can. He knows he's got a whole lot of room and a whole lot of effort down there to deal with. O'Rourke, look at this! Big jump straight to the inside, and O'Rourke making the cross through. Cross threads it, threads the needle, and the 41 now moves ahead. So right now, that means once Burnett, Livingston, Simley go into pit road, that will now boil down to them and their situation and their circumstances. DJ O'Rourke right now currently ahead of Mike Kelly by about 7 seconds here. Kelly on all 4 tires. Calatani really struggling to hang on. Doy Woods was on right side tires. He's not catching nearly as much speed on O'Rourke, but he is catching up at least to Charles Van Schaik. We'll take a look at our lap time counter here to show you where these guys are. And that right there could be a death wish and a death nail on Van Schaik to Woods. Woods did not get any time. He lost about 51 thousandths of a second to Van Schaik. Doy had a great strategy and a great run there, getting up to O'Rourke, but it looked like he had a little problem or two getting in and out of pit road, and I think that might have been his death sentence. 22 spots up though today. Jerry Livingston has without a doubt put the hard charger on the map. $18 laps left to go. Maurice Burnett has to admit defeat, goes to pit road. He knew he had only so much time on that clock before eventually he'd have to admit it. Livingston, your race leader. Scott Simley behind. but knows there's company of brewing. There are drivers that are hungry to take this one away. The gap is starting to dwindle even further. Well, it was about a 4-second lead for O'Rourke over Woods, but now it's lost that down a bit. May have overdrove it a little bit. Van Schleich trying to save whatever he can of equipment left. This is coming down to a huge line. Livingston, lap 59 pit stop. I genuinely do not think that is long enough for him to survive. Let's take a look at our pit stop time gap length. And you can see too right here. This is how far and how long they'll go. This is the longest run they've had today. I don't think there's enough fuel though. Even then, I don't think there'll be enough time for Livingston. He's gonna give it though. He's gonna give it the old try and hope for a break. Sometimes those cautions come out and you can catch them right on the dart. But you can see he is saving fuel. Problem is, again, is you got a guy like EJ O'Rourke getting closer and closer to you and just building up more speed. Now looking to try to take down Scott Simley. If Simley blocks and defends, he may give Livingston a little bit of time to breathe and some time to run. But I don't think it's enough. Simley gonna try to slow him off by going to force him up the outside. O'Rourke just simply says, minor disturbance. And a bit of a nuisance to him in his mind. O'Rourke now sets his sights on the race leader. Livingston is in trouble. And the gap's starting to become harder and harder to climb from and climb back to. You gotta be wondering too in the back of your mind, had Mike Kelly not taken the other side of the tires, would he have had a bit of a chance to possibly take down O'Rourke and Woods? It's hard for me to say, and I would not say he probably would have. I think honestly he probably been a little bit harder to actually take control in that situation. Twelve laps left to go. Here comes the personal upper 41. Livingston did a great job from point A to point B, but it's all for naught. Because O'Rourke is coming to charge and coming to fight. For Livingston trying to use Samuel to block. It's not going to work here. Your new leader is the 41. O'Rourke is now, at this point, sizing himself up for a big jump here. O'Rourke has pretty much at this point settled his differences, settled his scores up, and finally found that last bit he's been looking to try to use up, but he is not out of the woods yet, because as a matter of fact, Doy Woods looking to put him back in his place. Let's take a look at the lap times and see how close it is. That time lost 36 thousandths of a second. Couldn't quite clear him out. Take a look here, see we're gonna get a difference. Oh yes, we did. Full 10th. That's a full 10th right there. Still 3 seconds back. Lap traffic in the way of O'Rourke here. Woods has gotta be just infuriated. He may have another one slip out of his hands if he doesn't figure something out soon. O'Rourke looking to try to catch up and get this one dialed in. He'll have 3 wins to this season and an extra set of bonus points for the playoffs. Everybody else just doing their own thing and just trying to work their way and measle the way through traffic. Big pack stack up there with Scott Simley, passed up by Charles Van Schaik. Livingston right in the mix as well. Wesley Donaldson here holding on to the elusive 4th spot. Mike Kelly trying to keep 3rd lined up with him with 6 laps left to go. O'Rourke has now put 3 seconds stable on Doy Woods. I think it may be too little too late. Coming to the end here for Donaldson and Kelly. This has pretty much been a bit of a back and forth, sling it one way and then throw it another kind of ordeal. Final 5 on your screen, 5 laps left to go. Chaos ensuing and giving probably the hugest break ever to O'Rourke there. In my opinion, he got a very, very big break just for the mere fact that wreck took out a lot of drivers and took everybody into a bit of a bad spot and opened up the doors to this one. For Doy Woods, he will have to try to find that elusive win, it seems, in the playoffs itself. For Mike Kelly, the same can be said for him and Wesley Donaldson. For Charles Van Schaik, this race serves as kind of a reminder to these boys. He may fall back, but he will climb back as quick as he fell back in these races. Don't ever count out Van Schaik, the defending Cup Series champion, will have his work cut out for him later on. But for these guys, it was all about getting another win added on, the playoffs added in, or possibly putting everything on the line for them and their teams. Here we go now. We have just a mere 2 laps left to go. O'Rourke has pretty much timed every corner perfectly. He's made every right adjustment, right turn, and right corner. This is truly one of his best performances, up there with the Bristol Motor Speedway race. And how ironic, we stay in Tennessee. He finds another win somewhere around these parts of town. White flag coming out. O'Rourke, your leader. Presented by Sim 500 Esports. This is your final lap. It's safe to say, race fans, this guy may be a bit of a dark horse. In terms of playoffs, there are 2 big heavy hitters and a couple others looking to try to make their name in the playoffs. But for this guy, he's willing to show them all. He's here to fight to the end. Your winner in Nashville is E.J. O'Rourke. What a race and a conclusive, decisive end with the number 41. All roads left to lead to the playoffs. Next week we begin them. But all roads this time for E.J. O'Rourke lead to victory lane. I think we may need to call this guy the King of Tennessee. What a race and what an ending here for this. This regular season comes to an end. Tyler Dalton is your season champion for the regular season as we lead into the playoffs. EJ O'Rourke, though, putting on a performance, catches a huge break and wins it out. Doy Woods, give the man the heart and credit he deserves. He fired everything at him and couldn't get it done. He'll go second. Mike Kelly, again, another podium, and strongly sacrificing everything he got to get there. Wesley Donaldson putting up a performance, goes top 5. Charles Van Scheik, no surprise, getting another top 5. Scott Simley, 6th. And the Wild, 7. Dakota Kramer, going to go 8th. Jeff Ryan, 9th. And Shannon Wood, a top 10 to round out his day after the panic and pandemonium that was that nightmarish wreck in the final stage here. There is the rest of your finishers as well. Some, unfortunately, unable to finish the race. One last thing left to do, race fans. You know what time it is. It's time to talk to the top 3 drivers coming away today in the 3rd spot. It will be Mike Kelly, the number 6 here. Mike, a podium to end out the regular season, and now onward to the playoffs, sir.
Yep, I'm back. I'm back up here. I mean, it's not for first, but I'll take it.
It may not be for first, but I mean, man, you still had to throw everything to the line and throw quite a bit of runs in between at these guys. I mean, that gotta feel like it was a little bit crazier down there than you feel like it was usually.
It's, the first. Yeah, I was talking to Macklin there before he had his issues in Discord, and we were commenting on how it got a lot more lively in that second stage and then the final stage there. I don't know how that looked on TV, but it was a good green flag run and had some action and some different strategies. But it got crazy there in that second stage. People were getting a little loose. Had a couple incidents that maybe could have brought out yellows or maybe not. I don't know how that would have affected my night, but I psyched myself into taking 4 tires there on that green flag stop, thinking that might be a good way to do it. And the guy Doy and EJ both took 2 tires, and I really wasn't catching them. So 2 tires was the way to go, and it freed up the truck, because the truck was a little tight. So 2 tires was definitely the way to go. But I mean, I'm in the chase. I got some good playoff points. I'm set up good for the first round, and I just keep knocking off podiums.
Knocking off podiums and knocking off a chance to claim the big elusive championship prize. But nevertheless, here, Mike Kelly, you're going to go 3rd today. Who do you want to thank you for this one, buddy?
Thanks to PTM and you for putting on a good show. And as always, thanks to Sim 500, Goat, Charles, all the admins. Trans Service for sponsoring me in the trucks and associate sponsor on Monday night in the Cup Series. NC 811. All the sponsors for all the different series we have here at Sim 500 and GOAT, and it's good to have all of them on board. They really make things go here. Sim 500, Joey, a lot of people involved in this stuff. So it's fun to come out here on Tuesday nights, and of course, got to thank the Smoking Hot Wife.
Sure there, Mike. Congratulations bringing home another podium today, buddy.
All right, see you in the chase.
See you in the chase indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 6, Mike Kelly. Roll down on to our 2nd place finisher today here, and Doy Woods back with us here. And Doy, man, oh man, this could have gone either way, but I have a feeling you lost a little bit of that time and a little bit of the problems kind of started from pit road. What happened exactly from there? Because you were catching overwork before the pit stops began.
Yeah, I don't know if I just hit my box wrong or what. The EJ had a 7-second pit stop. I had a 9.8, and he was better on new tires. I was better on old tires, and it just that's just how it played out. But I needed a good finish. I'm glad a second. Win would have been nice, but second, I needed this. I really did. I've been down in the dumpster, felt like retiring, so I feel good.
Feel good, putting on a great performance and throwing everything to the line and to the wire. I know obviously this was very important for you and the team to get back underway and get yourself squared up. With the playoffs now beginning in the chase starting up next week, I mean, does that kind of now set this bar and set this total up for you to begin now today?
Well, if I'm in it, if you're in it, you got a shot to win it. So just got to regroup, reconfigured everything, hired some guys, fired some guys, because we've been off the pace the last 2 months, so we had to do some rearranging and, had to let some guys go that I care about, but I had to show them the door and get some guys in there that's going to set this thing up right. So hopefully we're back on that right page, and hopefully we get a W.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, my friend, you still put on a great performance and put it to the house today. As always, I ask you, who do you wish to thank here for this one?
Well, I like to thank all the guys back at the shop. You know, Chad, Pedro, all those guys give a lot of knowledge, know how to turn them wrenches so good. And I got a buddy that knows how to put the fast wax polish on my ride. And them Canyon filters really, I think I had a little bit better power than I've had in forever. And so that was a good partnership. And if we can just get a little bit more out that motor, I believe I'll have something for these guys.
For sure there. Doy, man, congratulations getting on home to second place today, sir.
Thank you.
Doy Woods, ladies and gentlemen, throwing it all on the line. But this guy, EJ Orwork, outclasses and outsmarts the field. And what a race here, Orwork, man. You had caught a huge break when that caution didn't come out from the massive pileup back there. And I said point blank, I thought honestly that was what kind of gave you this chance to hold on and take this race went away. What was your thoughts, though, as this thing came to the end?
Hey, man, I was leading before the wreck. It doesn't matter they wrecked behind me. You know how many times I've been wrecked just because of stupid stuff? Like last week and the week before? Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you don't.
I mean, I'm not denying that by any means of the imagination. I'm just saying though, you were on a lot more lap, less tires. You had to fight every little ounce and bit out of the rest of it. I mean, I got a feeling though that from there it just pretty much boosted your confidence up to just completely drive away from this one, didn't it?
Yeah, I was kind of down and out. I didn't really have any practice, and I qualified 11th somehow, and I hit the wall, so I fell back. And I thought about parking it because you know what? The dirty air sucked, and I just wasn't having fun. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to pit with this caution here right before the stage and get the tires and get the track position. And the clean air is amazing. And, you know, once you get a sniff of that lead, you know, I kind of perked up in my chair and sat up a little bit better and straightened my arms out. And, you know, I got up on that wheel, you know. So, Bristol Comfort Chevy was fast and third win this season going into the playoffs. So it's pretty cool.
For sure there, Orwork, man, though, you put on a heck of a performance and a final drive to win it. I will ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank you for this trip to Victory Lane?
Well, I got to thank you guys, PTM Racing TV, Chuck over here at Go Racing League, and you know Joe Katina, everyone's 500. You know, it's a good time. These guys are hard to beat, and no win comes easy. And you know, haven't won much lately, so it's cool to get one of these at Nashville. Nashville's a cool track. I'll be there in a couple weeks actually, so I'm excited. It's a cool place. To win here is pretty big, and you know I led the last half of the race, and you know Doy caught me there, and I was like, wow, I didn't know what to do with the pitting, and left side tire wear was pretty good on these Goodyear Eagles, so I took 2 tires and filled it up with a little gas, and I was actually out there taking the checkered, so I got lucky on that one.
Well, safe to say, Orwork, you may have got lucky, but with this win here in Nashville and one in Bristol, I think it's time we call you the King of Tennessee this time around, buddy. Congratulations here.
That's right, I'll take that. Thank you.
Hey, EJ Orwork, ladies and gentlemen, is your race winner today, the King of Tennessee, as we are now going to dub him for this season. What a race! What a day! What an absolutely wild day! From the updates to the refresh and everything like. I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you're enjoying your time on the sim. If you're racing out there, I will be joining you guys soon, and I hope you have enjoyed every bit of our call today. We will be back on this Thursday here. Next Wednesday, we will then be back with Six Sigma Sim Racing. They're back with us in the Gen 4 Cup cars. But for now, the playoffs now begin for the Truck Series. What happens from here? Who is to say? Thank you again to Sim 500 Esports Racing League and everyone for tuning in. We love you guys. See you next time.